I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be attracting women through Facebook. Well, I've got an email here from a viewer. He's been following me for a while and has done pretty well. But in this digital age, this day and time where our world tends to be becoming more open and more connected, there's a chance, a possibility that you may meet somebody who doesn't exactly live in your area. Maybe they live on the other side of the world, and maybe you meet them through social media and start chatting. Then that moves to chatting online, either video Skyping or FaceTiming. And eventually, hopefully, you'll be wanting to meet together in person. So having been a guy who's dated many women over the years who live overseas and had the honor and the joy of developing a love story with somebody that's on a different continent, there's an art to it, but the principles that I talk about in my book are really the same, but obviously you have to adapt them online, and we're going to go through that because I get a lot of email. A lot of men, a lot of women meeting each other. They're either in different states, and a lot of times they're in different countries. So it creates a little bit of a different approach, because obviously if they live in the same city as you, you can hop in the car 10, 15 minutes, you're at each other's place. But when they're on a different continent or a different state, it's not so easy. But the key is to maintain the mystery, the attraction, to be thinking about each other when you spend your time apart. And that way, when you get together in person, you're just all over each other, and it's like two magnets drawn together. It can be really wonderful. So I got a quote that I wrote on this particular topic, and then we're going to go through his email. And I've got a second email that I'm going to go through also when I get to the end of this one. So I've actually got two emails I'm going to discuss with you today. So the quote says, when you focus on creating a great life for yourself, sometimes you will attract members of the opposite sex through Facebook and other social or online media. In order to create and grow attraction when you are long distance away from someone, you should do Skype video dates. You should start out with one Skype video date per week. That means setting a definite date where you have a definite day and time to meet online for a Skype video date. The same rules apply as if you were meeting in person, as I discuss in my book, How to Be a 3% Man. And for those of you watching this who haven't gotten a copy, either the Kindle version of my book or a paperback version, if you go to my website underneath the email sign-up box, click on the image of my book, it'll take you right to Amazon. You can either download the Kindle version to any electronic device in under 60 seconds, or you can purchase a paperback version. You got to learn the fundamentals. The whole purpose and idea behind these videos is that you already know the fundamentals in the book, and by going through these videos and the emails, it's helping you fine-tune and tweak your approach, because obviously it's impossible to have every scenario discussed in my book. And what's great is I use emails from men and women from all over the world to help you fine-tune and tweak your game so you absolutely master this stuff, so you don't have to think about it anymore. The quote continues on, at some point, one of you must travel to meet the other person. Ideally, that should happen after at least 3 or 4 multiple hour-long Skype video dates have taken place over the course of several weeks. Therefore, if you go to see them, then the next time they need to come see you. Just as when you live in the same city, as a woman's attraction for you grows, the frequency of her reaching out to you will increase slowly over time. The reality is that at some point, someone will have to move if you are to enter into a real relationship. Time, repetition, and patience are essential to enabling feelings and emotional bonding to grow slowly over time. In our digital and connected world, you never know from where or when you will meet the next great love of your life. It's exciting. It's exciting starting a new love story. It's exciting meeting somebody new and getting to know them and getting to know all their idiosyncrasies. It's just, life is wonderful. Love is wonderful. Relationships are wonderful. It is a true gift. It makes the whole experience of living on this planet that much more amazing. And it's even more amazing when you know this stuff and you can apply this effortlessly. So the viewer says, hey coach, it's been a few months since the last time I emailed you, and I want to share a success story with you along with a few quick questions about a woman I met that has 8 out of 10 attraction for me. Well, that's pretty high. As you might know, I'm from California and I'm doing great in college. I met a beautiful woman and we may have great conversations together. It's just awesome how happy my life is. About 20 days ago, I met a girl from Europe through Facebook. As we started talking, we decided to Skype. She kept giving me compliments and liking my pictures since the first day. It really is fun dating women from another continent. They speak differently. They tend to have different accents, just different social conditioning, just different values. It's really cool. It can really add to both you and her being attracted to one another because you're just so different from people that you normally meet in your own country that speak your own language. He says, during our Skype communications, I was always the one to end the conversation by saying that I have to go and I'll talk to you later. When she asks questions, I keep it funny and simple. Sometimes she just wants to talk and ask questions. One day she called me on Skype and started to ask me so many questions. For example, she wanted to know my birth date and things like that, and she wrote my responses down on paper and she hung it up on her wall. Dude, I think she digs you. She also may be into astrology. Maybe she's trying to see if you guys really match up. He says, why did she do that? Well, maybe she's really into astrology, but the bottom line is if she's writing things down that you're telling her and putting it on your wall. See, remember, it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. And so here you are. You can't actually get together in person. You're talking on video Skype. You can see one another. And what's so amazing about the technology is you can sit and you can have dinner together, you can have wine together, you can have coffee, tea, you can have great conversation for several hours, just like a real date. The only difference is you can't physically touch one another. And so when you end that date, you hang up. You don't have to drive home. You don't have to do anything. It's just you're there. You're in your living room or your bedroom or your office, wherever you happen to be. But that time that you're away from one another, that's what enables the attraction to grow. It's like taking a cake, the analogy that I use so often in many videos. It's like sexual attraction. It's like a cake. You put it in the oven, and it takes time to bake. It's not a process that you can rush. And here, one of the benefits of having somebody that's in another country or another state or they're several hours away from you and you're doing video Skype dates is that they're not near you. And so when you hang up, literally, what happens? They start wondering about you, start thinking about you. Wonder what he's doing. Wonder what he's up to. And here she is taking notes and putting them on her wall. And what is that? So she's looked through your pictures. She's seen you on video. You have a good time together. There's obviously chemistry there. She obviously really likes you. And the thing that you have going for you is that she's from Europe and you're from the States. And so therefore, the way you talk, just your act, the sound of your voice is going to be completely different and unique from most of the guys that she's going to meet in her own country. And guess what that does? That causes her to feel more attraction to you because you're unique. You're different. It all works to your advantage. He says also she's curious about my past relationships, which I made, when I talk about them, short and simple. I did not badmouth my exes at all during Skype, and we laugh a lot, and it's just so much fun talking with her. Well, that's awesome. Good job. Just remember, always you keep it positive. When you talk about exes, you always talk about the positive things, how they changed your life, how they made you into the man that you are today. He's just like we were both comedians or something. She keeps telling me how handsome I am, and it's just so hard to believe a guy like me is single. In response, I laughed and slowly changed the subject. I do go on dates sometimes, though, but due to college and work, I just don't have the time to go on dates. My focus is on my degree right now. It's on your purpose and your mission. He says, that's not a bad thing, right? Well, if you meet a girl you really like in your city, you should go out with her. You shouldn't just take yourself out of the game completely. He says, we're also teaching each other our mother's language. I'm learning Swedish from her, and she's learning Turkish from me. It's just so great how a woman can be that interested in me. I just feel so attracted to this girl. I'm really interested in her. But how and why? Well, she's different too. She's unique. She's got, it's exotic. Think about it. She's in Sweden. You're in California. It's exciting. He says, out of all these women, how can I be so attracted to someone who's 4,000 miles away? Well, like I said, the digital revolution kind of has made the world a smaller place. That's cool. Don't complain about it. Just go with it and enjoy it. Doesn't mean you're going to marry her and spend the rest of your life, but you know what? It's really cool how things are starting off. It's unique. It's different. He says, anyways, coach, things are getting better and better every day. There's no rush in this. That's the important thing. It's like you let her reach out to you, and what you notice is the weeks go by, and just like he said, she's starting to Skype him and reach out to him and want to talk to him more. Why? Because her attraction is growing. That's a good thing. He says, I just have yet to try a long-distance romance, but she is just one of those girls. Every day she tells me she feels closer and closer to me. Translation, my attraction level for you is growing and growing, and I'm finding you more and more handsome and irresistible. Those are all good things, my friend. And a few days ago, she said she wants to tell me something with a smiley face, but then she said, never mind, I'll tell you when I meet you next summer. Wow, so you're going to wait till next summer. That's a year from now, dude. She says it's just so hard that she has to wait for that long. Well, you know what? I think you should book a ticket and come over and see me, sweetheart. One of you's got to travel. But she has college, and the only time she can visit is summer. Well, what about during the Christmas holidays or spring break or something? It's all about priorities. As her attraction level grows, it will eventually get to the point where it overrides everything, and she's just not going to want to wait till next summer. And that would be a good thing, because then she'll come see you sooner. And so it's like the cakes in the oven. It's just baking. Just keep doing what you're doing. Let her come to you. Let her do most of the reaching out. But make sure you don't Skype video dates. And sit there and just like think about it. You go to dinner. You're going to be there for a couple hours. Maybe you do something afterwards. You have some wine. You have some dinner together. You have a bunch of laughs. And then at some point, you're going to go. It all works to your advantage. It's like it makes it a lot harder. I should say it can make it a lot harder to fuck things up when she's not in the same city because you're in no rush. It's like you can't see her. You can't touch her. You can't hold her. You can't make love to her. She's not physically with you. She said last night, she said she wants to tell me something, but then she didn't. She said, we'll talk about it later. I said, come on, honey, just get it out and tell me. She said, no, you might be too excited to hear it. She was blushing. That's why you got to keep digging. It's like, come on, don't hold back. Tell me. What's on your mind? I want to know. Come on, baby, tell me. You just got to keep digging, and eventually she'll give in. She said, I'll just tell you when I meet you. I was like, well, I don't want to wait till next summer. Tell me now. It must be something good. What's on your mind, baby? Come on, tell me. Tell me. And eventually you get it out of her. After trying to get it out of her, I realized she probably wanted to say, I love you. Don't make assumptions, Padawan. After 20 days, maybe you're just a fucking stud, dude. Maybe you're just mastering this shit and you're just fucking awesome. Why not? Remember, attraction's not a choice. The key is to just not talk the other person out of liking you when they are already predisposed to liking you. He says usually it takes around 2 months, but I don't know. Well, again, you're making an assumption here that that's what it is. That's why you got to let her tell you. Get it out of her. He said, things are going great, coach. I play my cards right. She says, you're making me want to jump out of the screen and hug you so hard. I would say, hug me? Nah. Hug me and kiss me, and sit in my lap, that sounds a lot better than hugging. Say that to her. He says, I think we have a winner here. Any advice you can share with me, I would appreciate it. Well, keep letting her reach out, but make sure you set video dates. And if the dates are a couple of days in the future, guess what? She's going to be wondering about you and thinking about you, just as if you would set a date in the future. Say your girl reaches out to you on Tuesday, and you make a date to see her on Friday. Well, Wednesday, Thursday, the rest of Tuesday afternoon, whenever you set the date. Now she's wondering about you and thinking about you and looking forward to seeing you again. That has a positive effect on her attraction level. Just as if you were in the city and you were going to see her on a Friday night. Because you're literally seeing her. It's just a digital image. But it's great. I think you're doing it fucking awesome. You've done a good job of taking the things that I teach in my book and applying it virtually. But the key is setting definite dates. That means you have a definite day and a definite time. And one of the things that you may notice, especially when you first start talking to a woman who's in another state or overseas or several hours away is you go to try to set a date and she just may go, oh yeah, sure, later this week, that sounds great. And then you gotta be direct, you gotta be decisive. You say, great, which day later in the week and time works good for you? Send me several options and we'll plan something and make it a date. As a man, you've got to guide that to happening. If you just leave things up in the air, like, oh yeah, we'll talk later in the week, that's not a definite date. It's really important to do that. That communicates masculinity, that communicates decisiveness. And that's good because women want you to be the leader in their interaction. So let's get into the second guy's email. He says, hey Corey, just wanted to say thanks. I just had an amazing woman break up with me and it had come close to driving me totally insane. She was a great girl, and when she told me she needed space, I freaked out and tried to fix things and pushed to the point that she blocked my number. Nice job. After purchasing your book and watching your videos, I have been able to get over all that and realize what I've been doing wrong in relationships. If I get another chance with her, I know how to make her happy and pass her tests now. And if I don't get a chance, I have a date with a woman who is a total 10 tomorrow that I pulled with your advice. So who gives a shit? Exactly. Fucking replace her with somebody better. Life always gets better. And as long as you're constantly improving and working on yourself and trying to become the best version of yourself that you can be, you'll meet somebody that knocks your socks off. I've just found that everything in life gets better. When you're always... It's like Tony Robbins has this analogy that I learned from his personal power CDs like 25 fucking years ago. Can't believe it was that long. It's called CANI, C-A-N-I. And it stands for constant and never-ending improvement. That should be something that every single person that's watching this video should be committed to. Constant and never-ending improvement of yourself and your life conditions. Because when you're focused on that, relentlessly focused on that, your career, you're going to become more valuable. You'll earn more money over time. You'll take better care of your body. You'll get in better shape. Even if you got like 10 or 15 pounds that are really tough to get rid of, it might take you 6 months to lose that last 10 or 15 pounds where you get the ripped abs or whatever it is that you happen to be looking for. But the key is time and repetition. Anything in life, time and repetition. Applying the things you learn in my book, you're going to get better. Over time, the more you apply these things. He says, this woman is a 10 and I had her number and a date set within 5 minutes of meeting her. Remember, attraction is not a choice. All you had to do was not talk her out of something that she was predisposed to do anyways, which is like the hell out of you. Why? Because you're fucking awesome. You deserve that. This is your birthright. This is the way it's supposed to be. A man and a woman are supposed to be really crazy, animalistically drawn to one another. Not like, okay, yeah, I guess I'll go out with you. I got nothing better going on. Well, why not? We'll see where it goes. You want a woman that looks at you in the eye and eye fucks you. A woman who says, you're so fucking handsome. You're so fucking sexy. You are amazing. Everybody deserves that. Men and women both deserve that. Fuck mediocrity. Mediocrity is for losers. She was actually offering up her contact info. It's amazing if you do the right thing how well the stuff you teach works. I just wanted to say thanks. Do you ever give any public seminars? Yeah, I have a television show. It's on YouTube. And there's 1.3 billion people on YouTube every month. So it's like, why would I want to travel and do these big seminars when I can just, from the comfort of my own office, help people all over the world? I'm all about the path of least resistance. It's like what Jimmy Johnson said after he retired from coaching, when he retired from coaching the Miami Dolphins. It was after his mother had passed away, and he said, you know what? I just want to enjoy my life. That's my legacy. Won 2 national championships coaching the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s, and he had 1 national championship as a coach coaching the Miami Hurricane football team, the college football team. Tons of great success. And you know what? What is he doing? It's probably right now he's out there fucking fishing. Drinking Heinekens and he's fishing. Hanging out with his family and his grandkids because he pretty much missed his kids growing up. And he just wants to enjoy his life. And so, no, I don't have any desire to travel around the world and do seminars and all that kind of crap. You know, I leave that for guys like Tony Robbins and other people that enjoy doing those kinds of things. My business model totally supports my life. And I love the way that I've got things set up. So I don't have any plans to do those kinds of things. I just really enjoy helping people through Skype, doing phone coaching, answering people's emails, and obviously speaking to great, interesting, fascinating, fabulous people like yourself through my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the Products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.